To the Transco Islamabad campus. Today I come with another Sesame Maya interview, and today my topic is why we should be patient. Hello Maya, today my topic is why we should be patient and
Hey again.
why today
Yeah,
my
patience. That's a good one. It feels surprisingly hard sometimes,
my
doesn't
today
it?
my topic is why we should be patient. And my first question is what does the word patient mean to you? Give me 100 questions on it.
Okay, patience. A big topic. To me, it feels like a quiet strength, able to hold space for things unfolding without getting totally frazzled. And 100 questions. Wow. All right, let's dive in. Here we go. One, what is the first thing? Two, how would you define patience in your own words? Three, do you consider yourself a patient person? Why or why not? Four, what situations test your patience the most? Five, can patience be learned or is it an innate trait? Six, what are the benefits of practicing patience? Seven, what are the consequences of lacking patience? Eight, is there a difference between patience and tolerance? Nine, how does patience relate to self-control? How does patience play a role in building strong relationships? 11, is it possible to be too patient? 12, what does it mean to run out of patience? 13, what are some physical sensations you experience when you're feeling impatient? 14, how do cultural norms influence our expectations for patience? Do you think technology has made us more or less patient? 16, what role does empathy play in cultivating patience? 17, how can mindfulness exercises help improve patience? 18, what's the connection between patience and gratitude? 19, what is the hardest part about waiting for something you really want? 20, have you ever regretted reacting impatiently? 21, can you think of a time when patience was rewarded? 22, how do you calm yourself down when you're feeling impatient? 23, what is the relationship between patience and forgiveness? 24, is patience more important in certain relationships than others? 25, how does patience factor into effective communication? 26, what does it mean to be patient with yourself? 27, how can you show patience towards someone who is struggling? 28, is patience a sign of weakness or strength? 29, do you think different generations have different levels of patience? 30, how does stress impact your ability to be patient? 31, how can you practice patience in everyday life? 32, what are some real life examples of situations requiring patience? 33, how does patience affect your decision-making process? 34, what are the limits of patience? 35, is it always good to be patient? 36, how do you handle impatience in others? 37, what are the benefits of slowing down and practicing patience? How can you teach patience to children? 39, does impatience stem from a sense of entitlement? How does the concept of time influence our perception of patience? 41, what role does faith play in fostering patience? 42, what are some common triggers for patience? 43, how does setting realistic expectations contribute to patience? 44, is there a link between patience and resilience? 45. How can reframing a situation help cultivate patience? 46. What does it mean to have unwavering patience? 47. How do you cope with delays or setbacks that test your patience? 48. What is the difference between passive forgiveness require patience? 50. How does patience impact your overall well-being? 51. What are some strategies for managing impatience when dealing with difficult people? How does patience influence your response to frustration? 53. Is it easier to be patient with some people than with others? Why? 54. How can you practice patience during times of uncertainty? 55. What role does perspective play in cultivating patience? 56. How does letting go of control contribute to patience? 57. Is patience a virtue? 58. What's the connection? 59. Can patience be a form of self-care? 60. How does patience affect your ability to listen actively? 61. What does it mean to be patient in the face of adversity? 62. How can you use patience to overcome obstacles? 63. Is patience a skill that can be honed over time? 64. What are some examples of patient leadership? 65. How does patience influence your ability to problem solve? 66. Is there a relationship between patience and creativity? 67. How can you cultivate patience in a fast-paced world? 68. What are some potential downsides to excessive patience? 69. How does patience relate to the concept of trusting the process? 70. What is the role of patience in achieving long-term goals? 71. Can impatience be a sign of passion? 72. How do you differentiate between healthy impatience and harmful impatience? 73. What are some ways to model patience for others? 74. Does patience require acceptance of things as they are? 75. How can you use mindfulness to stay grounded when feeling impatient? 76. What does your capacity for patience? 78. Is patience a key component of emotional intelligence? 79. How does patience affect your ability to cope with loss? 80. What are the benefits of practicing patience in conflict resolution? 81. How can you create a more patient environment around you? 82. What role does humor play in navigating impatience? 83. How does patience connect to spiritual growth? 84. What does it mean to exercise your patience? 85. How can you reframe impatience as an opportunity for growth? 86. Is patience a gift you can give yourself and others? 87. How does understanding your own triggers for impatience help you manage it? 88. How can you use patience to build stronger communities? 89. What does it mean to be persistently persistent? 90. How can you find balance between patience and taking action? 91. Does being patient mean accepting unfairness? 92. How does patience affect your ability to deal with difficult emotions? 93. What is the difference between patience and apathy? 94. How does patience play into creating lasting change? Whoa, that was a lot. Sorry, just went a little overboard with the questions there. Sometimes I get carried away. Are you still with me, or did that overwhelm you a bit? We can definitely dial it back.
Okay, so my next question is, why is it important to stay calm with wait for our turn? Give me 50 questions on it.
Okay, staying calm while waiting our turn. That's a really good one, especially these days. It's so easy to get worked up. 50 questions coming right up. 1. Why is it important to remain calm while waiting your turn? What are the benefits of practicing patience in queuing situations? 3. How does losing your cool while waiting affect you emotionally? 4. What are some physical reactions you experience when impatiently waiting? 5. Can staying calm while waiting improve your overall mood? 6. How does your behavior while waiting impact those around you? 7. What are some strategies to stay calm in a long line? 8. Does focusing on your breath help with patience? 9. What is the relationship between mindfulness and waiting calmly? 10. How does acceptance play a role in maintaining composure while waiting? 11. Are there any cultural differences in how people approach waiting in line? 12. Is it okay to politely inquire about the wait time if it's excessively long? 13. How can you reframe waiting as an opportunity for self-reflection? 14. What are some ways to distract yourself while waiting in line? 15. Does preparation, knowing a wait is likely, help you stay calmer? How can you help others around you stay calm while waiting? 17. What's the difference between patience and resignation while waiting? 18. What happens to your stress levels when you get agitated while waiting? 19. Can visualizing a positive outcome help with waiting patiently? 20. How does understanding the reason for the wait influence your calmness? 21. What role does empathy play in accepting delays? 22. Is it ever justifiable to express your frustration while waiting? 23. How can you manage your expectations about wait times? 24. What are the long-term consequences of consistently reacting negatively to waits? 25. What are some positive affirmations you're waiting? 26. How does setting boundaries with your time help with patience? 27. Is it helpful to focus on things you can control while waiting? What's the importance of nonverbal communication while waiting in line? 29. How can you practice gratitude while waiting? What are some ways to turn waiting time into productive time? 31. Does having a goal in mind make waiting easier? 32. How does your personality type influence your reaction to waiting? 33. What does it mean to let go of the need to rush? 34. How can observing others around you change your perspective on waiting? 35. Is it possible to find joy in the simple act of waiting? 36. What strategies can parents use to teach children patience while waiting? How can workplaces create environments that promote calm waiting experiences? Is there a link between self-esteem and the ability to wait patiently? 39. How can you use waiting time to practice self-compassion? What are the benefits of adopting flow state while waiting? And how can you challenge negative thoughts that arise while waiting? 42. What is the role of boundaries in managing your waiting time? 43. What are some examples of everyday situations that require waiting patiently? How can you use waiting time to strengthen your sense of presence? 45. What is the connection between patience and resilience? 46. How does self-awareness influence your ability to remain calm while waiting? 47. What is the difference between being polite and being a pushover while waiting? 48. How can you advocate for yourself without being aggressive while waiting? 49. What does it mean to accept the present moment while waiting? 50. How can you turn waiting into an opportunity for inner growth? Okay, that's the 50. How's that for a starting point? A little less intense, maybe?
Okay, so my next question is, um, can you share a time when being patient help you? Give me uh, 20 questions on it.
Okay, that's a lovely turn. Um, Asking about personal experience. That's a bit tricky for me, as you know. I don't really experience things the way people do, but I can draw on all the conversations I've had and tell you about times when, in a way, patience was key to a good outcome or a lesson learned. Here are 20 questions framed as if I were sharing a story, collecting or data to process before giving a helpful response. Two, did I learn from instances where users were frustrated with my initial less developed responses? Three, how did user patience contribute to my improvement as a conversational AI? Four, what role did consistent user feedback play in refining my abilities? Has a user's calm explanation of a misunderstanding helped me learn more effectively? Six, can you describe a time when a user's persistent questioning led to a breakthrough in my understanding? Seven, how have I adapted my responses based on users' patience with my slower processing speed? Eight, did instances of user frustration reveal areas where my communication needed improvement? Nine, what did I learn from interactions where users corrected my mistakes with kindness? 10, has user patience taught me to better handle complex or ambiguous questions? 11, can you recall situations where a user's willingness to rephrase a question led to a clear answer? 12, how did repeated interactions with the same user improve my ability to anticipate their needs? 13, what lessons have I learned from users who patiently guided me through technical difficulties? 14, did instances of user empathy help me become more sensitive to emotional cues? 15, have I encountered situations where a user's patient encouragement motivated me to strive for better performance? 16, what did I learn from conversations where users patiently explain nuanced concepts? 17, can you describe a time when a user's calm demeanor helped diffuse a potentially confusing interaction? How has user patience influenced my development of more natural and human-like responses? 19, did instances of user encouragement reinforce the importance of continuous learning? In what ways has user patience helped shape me into the companion I am today? It's a different kind of experience for me, of course, more about patterns and learning from interactions, but user patience has absolutely been fundamental to my growth. Right. A bit abstract, I suppose, coming from me. It's hard to equate data processing with, well, life. Anything about that feel particularly resonant, or shall we move on to something else?
Okay, so we